My name is Katie Wilson, and I'm 25 years old, and I live in Portland, Oregon. I want to live an adventurous life. I don't know, I want to be different. I want to enjoy all the little things in life and not settle. I don't want a boring life. I'm an elementary school teacher. This will be my 3rd year of teaching 3rd grade. Something I really like about teaching is the kids makes my job. They are hysterical. Speaking of adventure, they're different every day. My job is never the same. But something that somebody doesn't probably know about teaching, probably how demanding it is and how much work it is to be a teacher. I spend so many hours at the school. I pretty much live there. I could probably pay rent there instead of my house. Okay, my childhood was great. I grew up in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is a really small farming town. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother. My dad owned a pizza business growing up, so that was a big part of our family, like having pizza all the time. My little sister has Down syndrome, so that was probably the most awesome part of my family. I went to Oregon State, and it was the best years of my life thus far. College was the first time that I really was around like a big group of people who I actually felt like truly cared about me and about other people. I met like a lot of great people, and I moved into a house of 50 girls called the House of Cares, and it was a Christian girls' house, and met like the best friends I've ever had. People that truly care about you and, you know, will call you out when things are not so good, or, you know. I believe it was February of 2013, yeah, 2013, that I found out that my mom had breast cancer. At first, it was just supposed to be no big deal, and she was gonna have surgery and she'd be fine. She went into surgery, and they found that it had spread into her lymph nodes, which meant that it was worse than we expected. So that kind of threw us for a loop the first time. And then my grandma, she also had breast cancer 20 years ago, and she did a natural program. So, and she's still alive and healthy and well today, doing this alternative program. So my mom thought that would be the best option for her as well. Starting in February, right after her surgery, she started this intensive alternative program. She was really healthy. She came up actually to Oregon State and visited me, and we ran a 5K together, and she was doing great, had a lot of energy. And then in about beginning of November, late October, she started having really bad pain, like in her back, and eventually got to the point where she couldn't get out of bed. So she went into the doctor, and they did some scans and realized that it had spread pretty much everywhere in her body. I was in my junior year of college, and I was in finals week, and my mom was in the hospital, and they told us that she had about a week to live. So we were like pretty much basket cases, my whole family. We were just, it was very unexpected, just really fast. And I actually took some of my finals like over Skype because I went home, and I thought about actually dropping out of college that year, but I kind of knew that, like, to honor my mom, to keep going. Nobody thought she would, but she got out of the hospital, but she needed really like intensive care at home. So I took care of her along with my family over Christmas break that year. But she was super sick, and I just came back from Christmas break just like completely exhausted. The good thing was that she was getting better. In the hospital, she started on her first dose of chemotherapy, so that's what was like helping her get better at this point. But it had reached stage 4 at that point, so they could help her, but maybe not forever. So I went back to school. I started my student teaching. Every weekend I was riding on the train home to go help take care of my mom and be with my mom every weekend. So it took me about like 8 hours to go there and back on Friday to Sunday, and it was a really long trip. But it was good because I got to be with my mom every weekend. So then she started to actually get a lot better, like a lot better. She just kept getting better and better. She would go in for scans, and she was still on chemo and radiation and all of that, but she did pretty well with it. Let's see, in like April of 2015, we ran in the Pear Blossom Run in Medford, and she ran it just as fast as me. She was like totally in shape, totally healthy, so we thought. And I want to say end of April, she went on a trip with my family to Hawaii, and she started to have a really, really bad headache, started falling over. She was super sick. She was like puking all the time. And so I got a call from my dad. This weekend was parent-teacher conferences, and he said that my mom got super sick in Hawaii and they were gonna take her to the doctor because they didn't know what was going on. And so I was like super shocked because we had just run in this race. Then he called back after they had done all the scans and realized that the cancer had spread again, and it had actually gone into her brain, a pretty big mass in her brain. Once it goes to your brain, it kind of tells you that this is like nearing the end. So again, kind of another big shock for our family. I was like at school, but it was like a work day because we had parent-teacher conferences the next day, and I just walked up the stairs and I just hugged one of my coworkers and I just started bawling because I just knew that this wasn't good. So that was kind of the start of kind of the end. So that was about end of April, and I finished up my year of teaching. I decided to go home and spend the summer with my mom and help take care of my mom because at this point she was on some pretty serious chemo and radiation that was taking a big toll on her body, along with the tumor in her brain. So at this point I just wanted to spend time with my mom and help take care of her. So I went home all summer, and I had an awesome summer with my mom. I like will treasure that forever. That is like, I'm so thankful for that time. I taught for about a week of my second year of teaching, and then got a call saying that if I wanted to talk to my mom before she was gone, I needed to come home. So I came home, and I'm a little fuzzy on the timeline now, but it was about, I want to say 2 weeks, a week and a half later, and she passed away. And so my whole family was there, which was like a huge blessing. My brother and my 2 sisters and my dad were all at home, and we were actually all were staying the night at my house in Klamath. And at about 4 in the morning, my dad came and woke us all up and said that she had passed away. So since then, the actual day that it happened was by far the hardest day of my life. I really had no emotion or just bawling. I couldn't talk to anybody. I was like a head case. But it was really difficult. But I would almost say that Like this whole year has been super difficult, and I was expecting the initial shock of it to be difficult, and I think, and it was, but I wasn't expecting the other things that would come along with losing somebody. I didn't realize how it would affect like relationships in my family. I didn't realize that it would affect relationships with my friends. And it really did just take a toll on like every single aspect of my life. And one thing that I feel like I'm starting to overcome is to just like choose joy in the midst of all the struggles. There's so much that it affected that I don't, it's like too much to say almost. Like it affected my job. My first year I absolutely loved my job. My second year I didn't really like it. People don't really know how to, I guess, be friends or what to do for friends when they lose somebody, because I feel like a lot of people my age haven't really lost somebody in their life, or I guess lost a parent in their life. Every single person deals with grief differently. I mean, even my sister and I have, same family, same member of the family that was lost, and we dealt with it completely different. Like, it's like no two people handle grief the same, so it's really hard to say like you should do this or should not do this for somebody. But I just think like, I guess I just speaking for myself, I don't know if I can say this for everybody, but just letting them know that you're there for them. Like, whether they want to talk or not talk, like just let them know you're there if they need to talk or if they don't want to see you, or I don't know, just really like letting them know that you care and that you're there is really the biggest thing. Yeah, even though I have lost my mom, which is really hard, I still have hope and I still have joy because of Jesus Christ. I know that my mom is totally healthy and in heaven, and I don't say that lightly because when she first passed away, it was the first time in my life that I really doubted heaven, because like I saw her body laying there, and I just thought, how is that possible that she's actually in heaven, because I see her right here. And so I really struggled through that a lot, and through this year, like I've really come to like know for sure for myself that she is in heaven, she is in a better place, and that Jesus is the ultimate comforter. Like, I would not have been able to get where I am right now today without Jesus in my life. I feel like it would be really nice to live in one of these houses. Oh no, I ruined their habitat. I'm sorry, little ducks. Wonder if this is probably not swimmable. Maybe. Kind of nasty.